So, hey everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit about my favorite band, 3 Days Grace. Um, yeah, I would have more stuff, but this is like, um, you know what? I think I have one X, but that was like given to me by I used to have a friend named Shayla. So I got this CD for $5 at Walmart back in 2018. So this is their first album. Um, this is the back of it. And originally it was, Brad, Adam, and Neil. And then to the second album, they got in Barry Stock to do electric guitar as well. It was beyond that. That's the inside. I haven't actually looked on the inside in a while. The CD disc's got a kind of like a kind of houses with like kind of smudged up skeleton faces or sort of thing. Um, and yeah, as far as like merchandise or music and stuff goes, this is your song sheet. It's Neil there. The back. They used to be a three-piece. And you know what? I never even know if I looked inside of this. Got an interesting thing on it. I wonder if this was like their thing that they wrote in pen on here, born like this, now or never, drown, burn. Um, yeah, kind of neat. And yeah, that's it for that. So I've I've been a fan of 3 Days Grace for about 14 years now. My friend Tommy, I had a friend named Tommy that sent me a link to their song "The Good Life," and I watched that music video. I didn't listen to the song. I watched the music video and listened to the song at the same time. And I was just I was just like motivated, powered, excited, just like this band rocks, and this is um, I wonder if I do have I do. I do. I do have one X, but this was given to me, and this was used like out of death. I mean, this was used to death. So this is their second album. I'd like to get like one X again, like a different copy of it, and get all the rest of their stuff with CDs. I have CDs that I've had. I don't have like a shit ton of CDs, but yeah, this thing's like come right off. Wow. Um, but yeah, 3 Days Grace, one X. Um, but as of like the last, I don't know, like 5 6 years, they've become more so of like a thing for me. And this little piece, not this next chain, but the pendant part was this is a 3 Days Grace thing I got from Amazon or Wish. It looks kind of interesting. So this is the mark of their third album. And I also have a 3 Days Grace Outsider hoodie I got from, this was some sort of third party thing on Facebook or something at the time. Outsider, outsider. And the same thing on the back as well. So it's a. I'm not going to keep you warm too much on the winter times. But I was before 3 Days Grace, I was into a band called Petra, and they were sort of my thing for a long time. They also have the Blu-ray live concert DVD from 2008. It was a year before their third album. This was in Detroit, Michigan, in a place called the Palace, I guess. It's crazy because on Fifth Street in we're, at my hometown in Courtenay, they had this theater called the Palace. And I probably watched this like a week ago, and still great. But this is probably worth like a fortune now on Amazon, because there's probably like limited quantities, or it's just, I don't know, rare, and I saw it like for hundreds of dollars just for the Blu-ray. I've never got to see 3 Days Grace with Adam. I've only got to see 3 Days Grace with Matt. And I've liked both eras. I've liked both singers, and yeah, 2015 was an interesting time for me, and so was 2018. All the times that they put out those albums, and even 2022, because that was around the time that I was being homeless. For fast forward like 2.5 years till now. Yeah, because the Explosions album came out 2 years ago in May, and I was hearing the single a little bit before that. So I really love 3 Days Grace, and I would love to be a part of them or something like that, because I love what they put out, and it's just like it resonates, a sort of like rawness to it, and yet it's not the heaviest stuff I would listen to, but people end up like listening to whatever they want to listen to, or take whatever they want to take for like medications or whatnot. But I go and listen to 3 Days Grace to kind of help me with things and whatnot. They're just a really, really awesome band, and they're from Norwood, Ontario. I said that someone like Norwood, Ontario, that little strip of the highway, and that. I've never been there, but images on Google can show me that there's just not a lot there, so I can imagine. Yeah, and I try to cover their stuff every once in a while. There's sometimes when I do a set and I don't do anything 3 Days Grace, and um, I and there's some people that probably don't even know much about them and whatnot, but they're pretty mainstream, and I don't know, between them and like Billy Talent, because Billy Talent and 3 Days Grace came around the same time ish. Um, Maybe 3 Days Grace is like wider known. I don't know. I don't know. I got to see Billy Talent as well. I saw them in Abbotsford 2017 in the Sports Center there in February. That was a really good show. That was before I had a phone. I had a mini tablet, and I left that in the hotel at the time. Um, yeah. So the first song I heard from them was "The Good Life," and I really like that album. Life Starts Now. I think it's still my favorite album by them. Um, for most part, I pretty much like everything from every album, like 3 Days Grace, One X, Life Starts Now, Transit of Venus, um, then Human, then Outsider, and Explosions. And I got this shirt off their website, so I've washed it and dried it once at the laundromat, and it's been okay because it was a little bit big. It was a little bit big before I wash, and it's like I feel like they're cheaping out on a shirt like this because it says Gildan shirt or whatever, just with the font of 3 Days Grace. So I wish it would have been a little bit more customizable, but I like the shirt. Um, and my last set I did do a 3 Days Grace song, but I didn't think I would do Never Too Late, and I did it because I'm just like, I don't think I'm in a place. I don't think I'm in a place to actually sing like, oh, it's never too late because I don't always want to be around, and I feel like the mental health within me is like um, so heavy, and the depression is just so bad, and I question things like I've disassociated since early this year, and it's been going on for a while, and you know, I'm not really taking it. I'm not taking anything for anything right now, and I weaned off some of these antidepressants this year and whatnot. So, um, um, yeah, and these kind of things are really hard to make because I didn't start out doing kind of music stuff. I started out doing like funny stuff I'd come off the top of my head, like come up with this character named Tommy, and he's this hyperactive, just out there guy, or Mr. Random, and stuff. So then, boom, then 3 Days Grace came a while, and he took Petra's spot for me. So yeah, Over and Over is a song that when I hear it over and over, I'm like, I feel like I'm back in the times of being in high school. Um, yeah, I got to see 3 Days Grace, and first time was 2018 in Abbotsford, the same place as Billy Talent, and then the second time I went by myself. It was my first concert by myself because uh, I'd already seen Black Sabbath a few times in Vancouver. So 2022, I think it was in November, must have been November, because yeah, it was like the 15th or something like that. And it was a really good show. I took my guitar. I took my acoustic guitar to Vancouver to have the Queen's Elizabeth Theatre, where it was happening there at the show. And I had a crazy hostile situation where I booked on booking.com, and they they had a confirmation, like it was confirmed. I called them and whatever when I got off the ferry and whatnot, and they wouldn't let me stay because some sort of a thing, like I didn't have a Visa card that was like open. Like my Visa's always been unlocked because I owe money still on it, and I've used my virtual Visa debit card for everything else, for staying at Ocean Island in Victoria. And yeah, I remember it was just like what do I do? Do I go to see 3 Days Grace? Do I take the last ferry back to Victoria? Because I knew, I was still kind of homeless. I was still homeless at the time. I was staying in this crazy shelter. But I knew that being in Vancouver, like being homeless, was a lot different than, being on the island. So yeah, I called the Salvation Army. I had to stay there for that one night after 3 Days Grace or whatever, and just didn't know what to do. But I wanted to know. I wanted to let the box office people know, and the people security or whatnot, that I wasn't not no hard done by fan. I brought my acoustic guitar because yeah, I actually played some stuff on the ferry outside. It was windy, but I didn't want to leave my guitar at the shelter either. And it was a really good show. I think the second time was better because it was like a smaller venue and it was kind of more immersive. And there's like two really attractive guys that were there, friends, and I was trying I was trying to do whatever I could to like talk to them and see what they were doing after, and they didn't stay. They didn't wait for me or whatever, and it was just kind of like sucks or whatever. But I remember being at that venue, that atmosphere was it was nice. It was nice, but I'm always kind of alienated, so I kind of get that. And with 3 Days Grace, I kind of feel kind of alienated, outsided, and um, kind of feel depressed in their own ways too. Um, so, and news broke out just a little bit ago. Like it's been like a few weeks that Adam's back. I'm just trying to figure that out in my head, like how that's all going to work out. Maybe Matt's gonna lose it eventually, or Adam's just not gonna, withstand doing that for so much because two singers in the group, like, yeah, Matt's not leaving, Adam's back. Um, I really like Matt, I really like Adam, but they're two very, kind of similar singers, but at the same time, see if I bring this a little closer. At the same time, um, Matt can scream like it's crazy the way that he can scream, and I mean he's been singing Adam songs for like over a decade. I'd like to see if Adam can sing stuff that Matt's wrote, which I'm not sure if they're gonna do. Um, but it would be really wild and crazy to see. I've seen some photos they've released about just writing stuff with Matt and Adam. I heard that. I saw that little tease of them calling each other and just like, wow, 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 wow. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, for me, I'd like to be able to, make something of my own again. And I haven't written a song in like 8 years, 8.5 years almost. And yeah, I feel like I'm in so much brain fog all the time. It really does suck and kind of numb to the point. Um, yeah, but like I say, 3 Days Grace is, I feel like they're kind of there, and yeah, um, when it gets tough, and there's the dark places. But then there's like the one of the last songs I think on Outside that was like, whoa, this is kind of heavy and lyrically like, should I do this or whatever? And the song was called "The Abyss," and it's just like, standing on the edge, and I want to jump back into the abyss, and here we go. So it's just like, whoa, this is pretty depressing, even for me, So there's even what Barry had said before, like you know, there's kind of bleak kind of things, and like there's some sort of little ounce of hope in some of the stuff, but you know, I mean, even with like Never Too Late, the first one was like saying, I will not leave alone, leave, leave alone everything I own to make you feel like I will not. And then the second verse says, I have left alone everything I own to make you feel it's not too late. But I was gonna do. Get Out Alive with my last set, and I was like, yeah, and I did Never Too Late, I guess. But next time I will position the camera, my phone, then I can have a thing where people are not walking through and you hear chit chattering and stuff. But there's another angle where Mike set that up, who hosts it, and um, didn't. But I'm just hunching over. My posture's just not the greatest, or whatever. So, and I'm just drinking some decaffeinated chai tea. Um, yeah, when Human came out, um, that was an interesting album because it was the first album without Adam, and Matt was there, and something sort of missing a little bit, but then you hear kind of like the ambient sort of like stuff in the background, and um, I wish they could, sometimes I wish they could be a little bit more innovative, but they kind of are. Like that song that Matt did off Explosions is pretty poignant, pretty sad, like but in a way that's kind of emotional. The song for or someone to talk to. The 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 song is called someone to talk to, and when I hear that slowed down, I hear like a slow down reverb version of that song that I've downloaded, and I go back to listening to that, and I'd hear that even when I was tenting at West Skate Park and stuff, and just out walking around Victoria, and be like, I just want someone to talk to, and that, or I'd hear slowed down version of Black Veil Brides is Savior 2, like resonated with, like I never knew how to live alone, you know, uh, never knew how to live alone with all the thoughts of the unknown, and yeah, with 3 Days Grace, Lifetime was another one that kind of hit me, um, because I've lost some people, and now I'm just sort of desensitized with a lot of things as far as loss goes, or sadness and whatever have you. But I got into 3 Days Grace in 2010, summer of 2010, and yeah, have been a fan since. So I was like 14. Yeah, it must have been like 14, because my friend Tommy was 12 at the time, and yeah, I just watched Monster House days and days ago, and I was just like, I'm thinking like that's us, or it reminded me of me and a friend I used to have named Aiden. Um, yeah, I'm anticipating what they're gonna put out. Like I can't believe that this day has come where Matt and Adam are gonna do something together. Um, and I've really liked the name 3 Days Grace. Like just something about like 3 Days Grace, 3 Days Grace. And I know all the thing about it. Like when Brad went to sort of accountant or math class and heard the whole 3 days grace period kind of thing, where you were paying your, I don't know what the whole 3 days grace things, because some people need a lot more than 3 days to pay off debt. Or it's kind of like out of a thing, out of urgency. Um, just give me 3 days. Just give me 3 days. um, yeah. Uh, uh, if I have a least favorite kind of album, I'm not sure, because there's things that I like from pretty much every album. Um, I'm not sure. Um, the first time I saw them, Bad Wolves and Nothing More opened up for them. Um, that was interesting. I didn't really didn't see a lot of Nothing More because I remember I was with my friend Lenny. I had a friend named Lenny at the time, and I had a drink on the house, hard root beer, and because yeah, I'm not sure how that all worked out because someone wanted one, didn't have one, and then I just got one on the house. And I don't really like drink anymore. If I do, I have one, and I'm sort of worried about the effects of actually drinking it because it doesn't really bind well with me. And just take kind of CBD oil with CBG in it. Uh, can't really smoke a lot due to my expenses, and don't get much uh, a month. So yeah, so the oil comes in handy. um, and I watched that 3 Days Grace DVD again, and that was pretty great. Um, I wish they could do something new and updated for a live DVD. That'd be great. That'd be great, especially when both of them are singing with each other. But I don't know how that's all going to work out. Um, yeah, I think I think most of the stuff I know, I'm like kind of running out of ideas. So most of the stuff I know is like 3 Days Grace, and I'm trying to learn some new stuff. Like I learned Linkin Park, and I was like, oh, that's good because I'm in the same tune. I just got to drop a low E string to a D, and drop D flat, so I can learn Numb. Huh. Uh, well, 3 Days Grace, I've heard everything, and I don't know how to play everything, and they say that they do like campfire tests and most of their songs. I'm like, yeah, but then there's like some other stuff involved, like definitely when Matt entered and when Adam left, there was like other writers in the mix and stuff that wrote with like Justin Bieber and stuff, and I was just like, what? And just like, who are these other writers? So I get it. So I'd like to know what brought Adam back, to if he's in permanently or whatnot. And yeah, it's nice to have a 3 Days Grace shirt again. I'd like to have. I used to have a 3 Days Grace tank top I got from Amazon, so that was nice. That was nice. Mm. Yeah, 3 Days Grace. So, and what's really crazy about them is my birthday's on July 22nd, and they released their debut album on July 22nd, 2003. So, how old was I? 2003. Must have been like 2003. Must have been 8. Um, no, it must have been 8 or something like that, or because I was born in 1995. So by the time 2005, I'm 10. So I must have been like 8 years old or something when that came out. But yeah, I hadn't really listened until but later than that, you know. Yeah, so it must have been Life Starts Now. Um, but I hear like The Good Life and Someone Who Cares. Someone Who Cares is a really dark. Someone Who Cares is a really good song. Um, yeah, Oh, I remember the second time I saw them in 2022. Uh, there was like a call for someone who up that can play a song with them and or sing a song with them or do the song, and I really wanted to do that, but I guess they just really didn't know. You know, it was pretty close to the stage, but regardless, that would be like kind of a cool thing to do if I ever get to meet them one day. And um, yeah, Adam's voice is very distinctive, one of the best voices ever. Nat's got a really great voice too. I wish I could scream like the way he does. Um, I kind of do a vocal fry, distorted thing, but it's nowhere near the way he does it. So yeah, some of my favorite songs by them, off the top of my head, if I could pick a top 10, my go-tos for them, my favies by them, out of order, not out of any order. Someone to talk to, never too late, time of dying, uh, animal have become, um, the good life, um, painkiller. Painkiller, that's a pretty badass one. Um, um, maybe chalk outline. Uh, uh, did I say? Uh, maybe lifetime. Did I say lifetime? Um, uh, uh, trying to think here. Maybe chasing the first time and I hate everything about you. It's really hard to say because they have so many things and you can't really narrow it down to so many, but maybe you can. But those are off the top of my head, those are sort of my go-tos. I feel like whenever I try to do these, I'm just sort of like, you know, am I doing it? I just feel like there's just a lot and nothing in my head at the same time. So, and I don't get to do these too often because I feel like I hold back and there's something holding me back and trying to express myself. I've been so tired today. I've been like just sleeping and stuff and whatnot. So, um, yeah, in guitar class and in high school, I took guitar class from like beginner to intermediate for a little bit, and some of it was private lessons, but most of it's been just basically learn and stuff on my own. And it's same with singing, same with singing because I feel like I've been a singer a lot longer and more so, and that's what I've you know wanted to be more so of a singer than. But I play guitar. I play guitar too. I really want to get a Jackson guitar. I think a Jackson guitar is something that I really would want to get. Um, just like the look of it, and it's sort of like lightweight. There's some of them that are kind of affordable ish, you know. So uh, yeah, I've sat down with an SG, and it's just kind of too long for me. I mean, I got long fingers and arms and stuff. So, but a Jackson, I don't know, like 3 Days Grace, they play with like Ibanez and Gretsch and As Cheese and all that stuff. But the Jackson just looks pretty. It just looks really nice. There's the headstock with the fin going up. That's the more expensive one. But the more affordable one is the headstock going down. So that's one I'll probably get. I'd really like to get a white one. White one would be nice, or whichever color. And yeah, but yeah. Uh, so yeah, 3 Days Grace. They had sort of the inspiration of like Tool and Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all that stuff. So I feel like they've really did this whole kind of move forward with the whole grunge thing, but like alternative metal, and yeah, yeah, yeah. I try to absorb my stuff with other things, but then you kind of go to what you like. If it'd be Sum 41, 3 Days Grace. That's my thing. I think I'm more of a Derek Whibley fan than I am Sum 41. I really like Derek's voice and whatever and what he does. Um, and I'm not really sure if they're calling it a day really, because a lot of bands do that and then come back or whatever. Just that they change their mind, like, oh, no. And 3 Days Grace, that's kind of like a big thing for them to do that, to unite both singers, get them in the studio. I'm just like, yeah, you never really hear of that really anymore, because some people just, they kind of have their egos, or they just kind of have their thing, like, no, this is my time and you left, and this is that. But no, they're moving forward with the decision of bringing Adam back and having Matt. It's going to be sort of like a Billy Talent, not Billy Talent. It's going to be sort of like a Blink 182 uh, System of a Down thing. I can't think that well lately. I'm just like, I say these things, I'm like, oops, I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to do that. I dropped that out. Oops. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, 3 Days Grace have been my favy for over 14 years. It's kind of hard to believe that. Even I've been playing guitar just as long. I've been playing guitar probably for about 14, 15 years. So feeling kind of old in that way. And I say that like I've been playing guitar for like 15 years. So, and been singing probably just as much. But, I've probably not been getting really good as a singer in probably like the last 4 years. I've started to sound really good. Um, like with that vocal cover I did of Magnificent by U2. I was like, I actually sound like I'm doing good on this, and I've just been trying to get as good as I can, really. There was this guy I watched and I was trying to sleep like days and days ago. I was just laughing because he was singing like Beatles, "Here Comes the Sun," and he wasn't. I'm like, is this guy for real? Because he was just like, "Here comes the sun." And the first one I watched was never his sort of take on Never Too Late, 3 Days Grace, and I was just like, oh my god. So it's just like, this world will never be what I expected. I'm just like, what are you expect your Jacques Clouseau or you do an inspection? Take a look at the ass. Look at what you're expecting. You're expecting. So it's almost like someone's left something in his bumhole, and then they just take it out, and that's the way he's singing. It's a it's a really crazy explanation, but I'm like, well, okay, I guess I don't sound too bad compared to that. But yeah, I haven't really met anyone who is a diehard sort of big fan of 3 Days Grace like me. Like, you know, I really like them. Really like what they do, and yeah, I pretty much liked everything they put out. And yeah, it's just so hard to think. I'm just like, I guys just say, you just say yeah, yeah, oh, and yeah, yeah. But you know, I've been through a lot in the last 2.5 years, and even me explaining myself, I feel like even just explaining my interests, my likes, and what gets me going, people just like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Oh, okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So it sort of makes me want to hide away a little bit. And I get tired. I get tired a lot, but uh, I get tired of asking if there's musicians who want a band because I really would like to have a band, and I feel like I can't really produce a song unless I'm in a band again with people my age, you know, or whatever. And I've been saying that, but like people my age are like getting to a point where they have kids and that they don't want to do anything anymore. And it's just like, fuck. So, yeah. Uh, yeah. But 3 Days Grace, they're, they got it going. They're pretty raw. And they resonate with me. I sort of get it because they they're probably going through some stuff too, and I've heard that and seen that of what they've said, and they're kind of introverted. I'm kind of introverted and whatnot. Yeah, it's all there for the most part. Um, some people have said before that when Adam left, they should have changed the name. And I don't think so really, because as much as Adam wrote a lot of the stuff by himself, some of it there's the other three guys there and stuff that contributed to some of the stuff. So even with Matt there, I mean, there's some elements, there's some parts of it that still sound like that sounds like 3 Days Grace and whatnot. But um, I've yeah, I've I mean I've and a little bit. I've just had a kind of like a weird kind of thing feeling when Matt sings "Never Too Late" or some of the Adam songs or whatever that he can or cannot nail. But it's gonna be interesting to see what they can do together. And my guess is they're probably gonna put it out next year or 2026. So I find they don't spend a lot of time taking a break and like just experience life for a little bit. Experience life for a little bit. Go through whatever you go through, and be like Tool and put an album every 13 years. And System of a Down is another great band that hasn't really done an album in a long time. They done two songs like 4 years ago, I think, or a few years ago. They've never done an album. Um, Maybe it's going to be called 2X, this album, because I think that's what they might be called. Maybe not. I don't know what they'll be calling the album with Matt and Adam, but um, anyway, yeah. Three Days Grace is my favorite band, and um, I wish I had more to say with everything, but I just have the greatest brain fog ever, really. So yeah, um, I say "Time of Dying." I say "Time of Dying" is like one of those songs that you would define Three Days Grace. Like that song is this like I don't know. It's like I will not die when I'm on this bed and in this kind of mode, this kind of like area that I'm in my life. I'll wait here for you in my time of dying. And yeah, here I'm waiting. I'm in an apartment that I've been in here for like 4 months. I fucking hate it. Fucking hate it. Don't like it at all. And I'm here. Whatever. I need to get on back to the bigger picture in Victoria. Do not want to be here. So yeah, yeah. But no, I'm waiting for no one because I wait and no one tries too hard. No one really wants to interact or engage with me. Same with the sort of live streams and whatnot. So, but I get stuff out of 3 Days Grace and whatever, and just wish that I could be part of something like that somehow, something like that, um, because I love them. I love them so much, and I just like the kind of themes and the kind of things that they go on about and talk about and write about. And I wish it was easier for me. Like it's been like I think the place I call home. It was like the last sort of technically the last official song that I wrote, and my friend helped me co-write that song. So I tried writing some other stuff like a year later on a binge and getting buzzed and stuff, and was trying to write some stuff on the spot, and it just was not working. There's one kind of song that came called Memoria, and or Memoria kind of thing. So, but not really. So, I have stuff, but it really hurts to try and produce something. But with them, they have something that keeps them writing, keeps them going, and whatnot. Um, yeah. So, um, I remember the first time I saw them. There was a guy screaming at the back of my head when they were opening with the song "The Mountain," and there was a guy saying like, "Why does it sound like Billy Talent? What the fuck?" And that was pretty funny. I remember that. Even have some of these videos that I didn't have. I didn't have the second time I went there because I had another channel that just terminated me. Like YouTube didn't, CensorTube didn't have give me a warning with anything. They just took away my account over nothing. And yeah, so I did capture stuff on my phone at the time, and now that was gone. So no show from the Queen's Elizabeth Theatre in 2022 was there because it was all taken away. All taken away. This is a long overdue kind of thing, and I'm gonna work on trying to do these a little bit more. But yeah, interact with me, like subscribe, like comment, let me know that you're here, and like don't just stare and just go away and just like, oh, it's I didn't look at the whole thing. That's where we're at. I post a song and people look at like 10 seconds of a 3.5 minute song. They're like, oh, I'm gonna look at you and not say anything. Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, I'm done. That's what I gotta say about my 3 days grace kind of thing. They're my favorite band. I wish I had more stuff from them, like as far as like music and clothing kind of goes. But I got what I got and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, comment, whatnot, and yeah. Where is 3 Days Grace for you? Where are they on your list of bands? I think, yeah, 3 Days Grace is pretty much number one for me. I mean, there's some other bands there that I've really, even before like 3 Days Grace, like Sum 41. Um, I don't know where Green Day is because I got into Green Day and Linkin Park around the same time, but 3 Days Grace is up there for me. Anyways, guys, hopefully I'll get to talk more about them in a better way where I feel like I can say something without having all these pauses and whatnot. So, anyways, bye for now. Bye.